The final games here at Miami Softball Stadium are April 25th, 26th, and 27th. For Oxford Week in Review, I'm Ben Garbarek. In 2004, the decisive votes in the presidential election were cast here in Ohio at polling stations like this one here at Withrow Court. Now 4 years later, the political spotlight returns to Ohio, and even Oxford, as they may choose the next nominees for the Democratic and Republican nominations. The proposed connector highway would divert traffic away from uptown Oxford and Miami's campus to a location such as this at South Point Crossing, just outside the city limits. After spending spring break in Florida like many other Miami students, these Red Hawks are showing us that baseball isn't just America's pastime, it's a sign of the changing of seasons. Several new food items were featured here at Bell Tower during Black History Month, but when fried chicken hit the menu, several students felt that this portrayed negative stereotypes about African Americans.
Dirty window, let the sun illuminate the word that you cannot find.
3 members of Miami University's Collegiate Chorale won a trip to New York City to perform for NBC's hit show Clash of the Choirs. These singing students auditioned for pop star Nick Lachey to perform as part of Team Cincinnati on live network TV.
After we performed that first time, we all just came back to the dressing room, and there was just every emotion you could ever imagine. People were crying, people were screaming, it was just something I couldn't quite grasp.
In case performing for millions nationwide wasn't a big enough surprise, Team Cincinnati actually won the competition and a $250,000 donation to Cincinnati Children's Hospital.
Standing on stage like right before you announce it and just, holding my hands and holding my breath and thinking, don't be disappointed, it's going to be Pally Bell. Don't be disappointed, it's going to be Pally Bell. Just, have a good smile on your face when you lose. And then we didn't.
And while hearts throb, this Miami tenor saw the music behind the icon.
He's a fantastic musician as well. I had my own impressions of him prior to this based on, TV and 98 Degrees, but it was nice to kind of get around him and actually see the musical mind that he has.
These students have more in common with the pop star than meets the eye. Nick Lachey was a student here at my university and lived in Hepburn Hall. While winning Clash of the Choirs may be the high point of these young performers' careers so far, even Lachey shared their sentiment.
He said to us, I think this is the first night, this is the single greatest thing that I've done in my career.
For Oxford Week in Review, I'm Ben Garbarek. While the red bricks of uptown Oxford serve as a lasting trademark for this quaint college town, High Street may have fewer visitors in the future. The city of Oxford is working to divert much of its truck traffic on U.S. Route 27 with a proposed connector highway from Richmond, Indiana, around Oxford.
The bisecting of the campus by state and federal Route 27, is a problem, given that there are some 60,000 pedestrian crossings of 27 on any given day.
Junior Rachel Reed lives uptown on High Street and supports the rerouting of trucks around Oxford.
I really notice the traffic when I'm trying to sleep, and then we always sleep with the fan on high, but we can still usually hear it.
The proposed connector highway would divert traffic away from uptown Oxford and Miami's campus to a location such as this at South Point Crossing, just outside the city limits. The new highway would help eliminate noise and pollution, but public safety remains the driving force behind the project.
You can see behind me right now the types of things that we're talking about. And so during change of class or during big events and things of that nature, it just causes a lot of congestion, and it really is about the safety.
The proposed connector may also save truckers time by avoiding the mile square entirely.
The alternate route that we're providing is approximately 1 mile longer. However, there's about a 6 or 7 minute travel time savings.
Truckers won't be the only ones benefiting from the new route. Oxford will as well.
By reducing that truck traffic, it will increase the longevity of our brick streets and other pavement, taking that heavy traffic off of there.
The city hopes an alternative route will help Rachel and other Oxford residents rest a little easier without the trucks. Reporting for Oxford Week in Review, I'm Ben Garbarek. Welcome back to Oxford Week in Review. I'm Ben Garbarek. Dogs and frisbees are a normal sight this time of year in local parks, but on Miami's campus, Miami's own WMSR is teaming up with Big Lebowski Tees for a charity frisbee golf tournament. The tournament will benefit the Animal Adoption Foundation located on U.S. Route 27 South.
Looking for a charity, and we wanted something local, something Oxford, something close to the community here. and they just opened up a brand new facility over there, and it's just a really great cause. And you know, I know a lot of Miami students are involved over there, so I just thought it was a perfect fit.
Right. We figured it would be, you know, great promotion for the new facility, and you know, they could use the money, so we figured what better cause could there be?
The Animal Adoption Foundation will have dogs at the event, and WMSR will be playing music during the tournament. Players will get a chance to compete for prizes sponsored by uptown businesses, including t-shirts, gift certificates, and other assorted items. The cost is $10 for the Beginners League and $15 for the Advanced League.
Ben, that's such a cool opportunity. What kinds of gigs have these students gotten because of the show?
Well, obviously, after they won the competition, they scored a lot of gigs, and most notably, they performed at Music Hall in Cincinnati, and just recently, they sang the national anthem at the opening day for the Cincinnati Reds.
So where are they all going from here?
Well, as of right now, it still remains uncertain because they all have full-time jobs or full-time students. They have other commitments that it's really hard for them to find time to practice and rehearse. But the one thing to know for sure is that they will be featured on Nick Lachey's next album. While the race for the Republican nomination ended over a month ago, the Democratic race is still going strong. Lauren Pulte is here in the studio to give us a recap on election 2008. April 10th marked the 3rd anniversary of the fire that killed Miami students Steve Smith, Julie Turnbull, and Kate Welling. Kate Stark is in the studio with more on the story. As Black History Month draws to a close, mixed reactions are surfacing about the university's efforts to recognize African Americans at Miami. Here's what I found. Today we'll be taking a look back at some of our most memorable, compelling, and controversial stories. On most days, the intersection of Main Street and High Street in uptown Oxford is full of people walking, eating, or playing in the park. While many students headed home for the holidays, one group of Miami students spent their winter break performing on national TV with the stars. I got a chance to meet with them this semester. The Miami Men's Glee Club has always been known for their large-scale performances, but this week's concert may be pushing the limits. Oxford Week in Review's Tristan Chan brings us the story. The Oxford community took steps to heal after a February attack on a Talawanda High School senior, Ashley Clark. A teenage couple broke into Clark's home and spent hours torturing Clark, who has mental disabilities. They are accused of gagging her, cutting her hair, and beating her with a baseball bat. Our reporter Angela Severance is in the newsroom with the latest on the story. With over 350 student-run organizations at Miami, you could say there's something for everyone. But as our Lauren Pulte found out, there doesn't seem to be enough space for everyone. 6,000 people die each day from a lack of clean drinking water. One Miami staff member and a group of runners are trying to change that. Kate Stark has more on the story. Miami continues to see new construction throughout campus. The Red Hawks softball program got their own piece of the action. I took a look at this week's hidden gem, the new Miami softball stadium.